Right now, you're stuck in a creative loop because you keep chasing new ideas. But this is what real creatives actually follow. First, stop trying to be original. Austin Kleon keeps a swipe file, a collection of things he likes, newspaper clippings, drawings, quotes from books he's read. He doesn't look at it and copy. He looks at it and remixes. Steve Jobs didn't invent the graphical interface. He saw it at Xerox PARC in 1979, a room full of engineers who had no idea what they'd built, and he took it. Because creativity isn't about inventing from nothing. It's about seeing what's already there and connecting it differently. You think you need a completely original idea, but original ideas don't exist. Now, stick with me. Every song shares the same 12 notes. Every story follows the same structures. What makes something feel new is the combination, and you can't combine things if your brain is too full to see the patterns. Second, boredom is not the enemy. Lin-Manuel Miranda came up with the idea for Hamilton on vacation, not because he was trying to write a musical, but because he was bored. He picked up a biography of Alexander Hamilton, and his mind started making connections. Hip-hop, revolutionary, founding father. That only happens when your brain has space, when it's not being fed every fucking second. David Lynch talks about this. He says, ideas are like fish, and your mind is the ocean. If the surface is constantly disturbed, you only catch the small fish near the top. But if you let it settle, if you give it silence, the big ideas come up from the deep. And you can't do that if you're scrolling between every thought. Third, create before you consume. Maya Angelou rented a hotel room every morning. She'd arrive at 6:30 with a deck of cards, a Bible, and a bottle of sherry. No phone, no distractions, and she'd write until 2 in the afternoon. She didn't check the news first. She didn't read someone else's work to get inspired. She protected the first hours of the day, because once you start consuming, you're reacting. And reaction isn't creation. Haruki Murakami wakes up at 4 in the morning, writes for 5 hours, then goes for a run. Same routine. Every single day. The work happens before the world gets in. Fourth, constraints make you better. Dr. Seuss wrote Green Eggs and Ham using only 50 words. His editor bet him he couldn't write a book with fewer than 50, and it became one of the best-selling children's books ever written. Not despite the limitation, because of it. When you have infinite options, you have infinite paralysis. But when you narrow the field, when you say, I'm only using this color palette, or I'm writing this in one room, or I'm finishing this today, your brain stops wandering and starts solving. Fifth, consume differently. Rick Rubin doesn't listen to music casually. He listens like he's studying it. What's the structure? Where does the tension build? What did they leave out? Quentin Tarantino has watched thousands of films, but he doesn't just watch, he dissects. He takes the kung fu pacing from Hong Kong cinema, the dialogue style from Elmore Leonard, the music cues from blaxploitation films, and feet from, well, we don't have to go that far, but combining all these, he builds something that feels completely his own. Most people scroll through 100 videos like this and retain nothing. But if you watch one thing, really watch it, break it down, figure out why it works, your brain has something to build with. Sixth, start in the middle. Hemingway had a rule. Always stop writing when you know what happens next. Not when you're stuck, when you're flowing. Because if you stop mid-sentence, you don't have to figure out how to start tomorrow. You already know. And that removes the hardest part. You think you need to start at the beginning, but the beginning is where you get stuck. So start anywhere. Start with the part you're excited about. Start with the ending. Start with a single image or line and build around it. And here's the thing. None of this is complicated. It's not a secret formula. It's just what happens when you remove the noise, when you stop filling every second with input and give your brain room to do what it's designed to do, which is make connections between the things you've seen, the things you've thought about, the things you didn't realize you noticed. But that only works if you let it. And right now, most people never do. They wake up and scroll. They work and listen to podcasts. They eat and watch videos. Every moment filled. And then they wonder why the ideas don't come. But ideas don't show up when you're busy. They show up in the gaps. And if you never leave any gaps, you'll keep waiting.